You're listening to another episode of Last Night's Coffee with Chuck and Jon.
What's up, Nightshifters? We're back for another exciting episode. It is episode 130.
Come on, man. We're racking them up over here, Chucker.
We are. We're racking them and stacking them. I'm Chuck. That's Jon, the world's youngest Gen Xer.
That's right.
And he's a little cold today.
I'm a little chilly, man.
What's going on?
I'm a little
man?
chilly.
Why are you cold?
Well, it's just, the outside air has been getting into the studio all day. So, it's just, it's a little on the chilly side. I got some construction going on still next door. So you might hear a little beating, a little banging, a little saw action. You never know.
You'll have that with those big jobs.
Sometimes, man. Sometimes.
You got your cup of coffee?
Sure enough, dude, with my name on it.
Oh, look at you. Got your CDC jacket over there.
Yeah, man. It's a hand-me-down. The jacket's older than me.
It looks like you're ready for a pandemic.
I'm ready for just about anything, Chucker. I try to be a man prepared.
Look, so if the apocalypse happened today,
yeah,
would you wear that jacket into it?
Absolutely. It's the warmest jacket I own.
Do you think people would automatically think you're somebody in charge if you wore that, and you would have like a fleet of people?
Because it has CDC on it?
Yes, you would have your own battalion. It'd be like, let's follow this guy. He's got
They're
CDC.
just following me because of the jacket. It's like a members only jacket.
Yeah. And you don't know anything about the CDC. I mean, you do know a little bit just because, but
yeah,
like you're no scientist.
No, gosh, no. No, I can't even pretend to be a scientist.
Yeah. So, but you got this brood, if you will.
Yeah.
From the neighborhood.
I could see me becoming having a little cult following.
Okay. So I've thought about this.
Okay.
In the event of a apocalyptic disaster, we don't have a fort near us.
No.
Like if I was in Savannah on vacation, I would try to get to Fort Pulaski.
Sure, it's right there. Columbus is the nearest one for us, right?
Well, I'm talking about an old Civil War fort that we could actually, with a small battalion, not a battalion, but a small group of fellow survivors, we could live.
Yes.
Like our commune, like if we were hippies.
Yeah.
Or a cult.
What space would we occupy? Because you're right, there is no old fort around.
I've got you.
Okay.
Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Really? Why?
Okay.
Is that secure?
It keeps race cars in. Okay. So hear me out now. You've got, I think, 3 or 4 levels of fence to get into to get actually into the infield.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've got a small group, you've got your weakest point would be the entrance to the condos from the outside, but you could gather up stuff and
you could
fix
secure
that.
it.
You could secure that, but you've got the condos. That's a very high point. You can see south out of. I haven't ever looked north out of condos, but south out of the condos, you can pretty much see all the way to my house.
Really?
Yeah, so it's like one of the highest points around. So you pop somebody up there, you've got to look out.
Well, that was going to be my thing is if you're on the infield, if you're down in the infield, you're on low ground.
You're on very low ground in the infield.
You don't have the high ground at that point.
But you have the high ground because you've got a guy in the highest point between Atlanta and Macon.
Sure. So as long as you can fend them off, but if they if something breaches the barrier.
Yeah, if you hear them pop off a couple rounds, you better get ready because it's coming. So, but you've got that, you've got the towers, the scoring towers have ladders inside of them. Of course, you can get up there.
Right.
You've got the top of the grandstands. So, I mean, you've got a fortified area. Plus, the racetrack has a fleet of tractors with plows and stuff like that.
That's true.
So you could get those into the infield. and you could start producing your own food. Yeah, I think that's where I'd go.
Can you imagine the community garden on the infield of Atlanta Motor Speedway?
Yeah, and plus, there's always some race cars around that you could commandeer to have fun with.
Of course.
Till you ran out of fuel.
Until you ran out of fuel, right. It would be a good place. There's a lot of beer.
The beer usually don't get there till race weekend.
Oh, really? They don't keep it stacked.
They don't keep it stocked.
They don't have it there all the time.
No.
Man.
If you have electricity, you'll have a great sound system.
That's
you
true.
got speakers all the way around that place, so you can be, throw the yacht rock on.
And I'm sure they have plenty of generators. Not enough to like run everything, but I'm sure there's a buttload of generators there.
Most stuff. They've got some commercial kitchens that run on gas, so as long as the gas supply stays up.
That's a really good idea, man. Atlanta Motor Speedway. Okay, so if and when that ever happens,
yeah,
I'm with you, dude.
All right, well, I'm going through the woods.
Yeah, you can make it a lot quicker than me.
I've got a route. I can be there in 10 minutes on a good day.
I don't have a good route without interstates.
I
don't have a good route without interstates.
I have a route without 4-lane roads.
You've really thought this out.
I mean, I can get there. I can be there within 30 minutes of it happening. As long as my people are gathered up at the house, I can be there in 30 minutes.
But you already kind of live in the woods. You wouldn't want to hunker down where you're at?
I think I would have to see how it lasted.
Yeah. I mean, you're not secure. Don't get me wrong.
No,
you're not secure where you're at, but you're also not out in the open.
Especially since they cut the woods beside me.
Mm-hmm.
That does impose a slight problem.
Yeah.
And when we cut our woods, we don't have that barrier that we used to have of just the funnel driveway. So, but I do have some junk cars. I do have junk cars. So,
like a good mechanic should.
Yes. I'll put your truck out there.
It's there.
It'll be the first line of defense. Actually, your truck, if it was what's that? Electric EMD? No, that's music.
EDM is the music.
Oh, EDM's the music.
Yeah.
Okay, so if it was that, your truck would probably end up getting used.
Yeah, because it could withstand the EMP blast and all that, right?
Yeah, the EMP. That's it.
Yeah. I think mine does not run off of points, so
it don't run off of points, but it has a older style ignition module, which would not be affected by it.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. So between that, the Volkswagen, and some other things, we have vehicles.
Yeah, and you got some pretty fuel efficient ones too.
Yeah.
Dad's Toyota would be a good one.
Oh, dude, that would be like mount the machine gun in the back.
Oh,
ISIS.
There's a reason why ISIS does it. Yeah.
I mean, because they're indestructible.
Yeah, that would be.
We have gotten way off. What we were going to talk.
It's all right. It's only the first 8-9 minutes of the show.
What did you do this weekend? Anything?
Man, I didn't do much, dude. Unfortunately, Liam caught the vid. So we just kind of hunkered down, stayed in place. The girls got sick like the end of last week. And then Liam got sick over the weekend. And so it was like, oh my gosh, forget it.
But they didn't have it, right?
They have had it before. Yes.
Okay.
I think this is like the second or third time Liam's had it, man. I lost count. I just, not that I don't take it seriously. I do to an extent, but it's just kind of like them getting a cold to me at this point. Like, I don't know. I don't get too carried away with it.
Yeah. I mean, it is the cold, basically. It's a cold with a name.
Yeah, at this point. I mean, he's 12, right? And he's like, my head hurts. You know what I mean? He's like, "Can I have a cough drop too? My throat's a little bit sore."
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
sure.
when I had it, and then I think Charlie got it from me. We never had him tested. He just like slept all day on a Sunday, and that
Yeah,
was it.
yeah,
He's like, he got up Monday morning. He's like, "What's up?"
yeah, yeah. Everything's normal, right?
but but yeah, well, good deal that he's getting over that.
Yep,
So y'all just basically just hung out.
that's it, man. Hunker down for the weekend. How about you guys?
We worked on the race car
Awesome.
um, Saturday.
Okay,
Yeah, Saturday.
good deal.
We worked on getting the front end set up. We had to take the springs out and look at see what size what pound the springs were, because Charlie was wanting to be like, "No, Dad, they're this," and I'm like, "No, Charlie, they're this."
He wanted to argue with you.
I don't know where he got the numbers he got. Like, we don't even have springs that size in our inventory. I don't know, but if he questions it, you got to look, because be like, okay, let's look.
Yeah, you
It
got to
don't take
show him.
but it don't take but about 15, 20 minutes to change them.
Yeah.
So we did that. We set the front end up. We we are really close, really close. I got to throw it up on stands, do a nut and bolt check, and we'll have practice at the end of the month.
That's close, man. That's
Yeah.
awesome. I love to hear it. Those are all great updates, dude.
Yeah, and then he also got invited to officially be part of Speed U at Skipstone.
Wow. So that's a pretty big deal. Now, can you elaborate on that some more? What does it mean to be a Speed U student?
I
How
think
big of a deal is this for Charlie?
so. So they go on some field trips that are racing centric.
Hmm.
He will be the only, right now, the only Speed U student that actually attends the campus of Skipstone.
Oh,
All the
really?
others,
Okay.
and that's just by default that he happens to race and he happens to go there.
Okay.
The other ones, they do remote learning, because actually a lot of them are racing a whole lot more than he is. They're on a different. The racers are all on their own path.
Right.
So it legitimately, it makes the racing a student athlete. Where like
Okay.
if you have something to do, this is what I think, how it works. I'm not real sure. Like if you have something to do pertaining to racing, this an excuse. It's not an absent.
Right. It ain't going to count against you.
Right. They will be
That's
doing
pretty
some.
freaking cool, man.
They
He
will be.
can go race
Yeah.
and
As
and that's part of school.
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of like being a football player. A football player gets out, like if they got a long travel game,
Yep.
they get out early and go to that. So yeah, we're pretty excited about it. They've got a lot going on race weekend. Speed U will be set up there. I hope I'm not telling too much, because the email said don't talk about it. But they got some things going on.
That's awesome, man. I'm
And
excited for him. That's a really big deal for Charlie, it sounds like, man. To be able to have that student athlete type situation, where he can really dedicate time to racing, that's really
yeah,
cool.
yeah. So we're pretty excited about it. I don't, it's going to open some doors, maybe.
Does it close the football door?
No, no, he's still gonna. He told me this. He told me Thursday. He said that they are on an 11-man schedule right now for the
Awesome.
upcoming season, and that he's playing. And he said, "Dad, I was gonna play anyway." I was like, "I know." I said, "You like it, don't you?" He goes, "Yeah, yeah."
Well,
He's been
eight-man
missing it.
ball doesn't sound as fun.
It don't sound as fun. You got to work harder,
That's right.
and it's probably higher scoring.
Yeah.
And if you get a team that's got a heck of a running back, he's hard to contain.
Hmm.
So anyway, that's what he's got going on right now. He's busy, 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 busy.
Yeah, which makes y'all a little bit more busy too, right? Because that's a
Make
lot of decision making and things like that.
Yeah, his schedule coming up at the end of the month is insane. So we got to get some stuff done on the car this week that we were going to kind of spread out a little bit.
Sure.
But at the same time, he's going to be having a lot of fun.
Yeah, and he's going to be making all of those connections like we've talked about, I think, the last couple of weeks. The boy's so good at making connections, at getting to know people. He's a very likable guy. You know what I mean?
He's a
And
little, yeah, he's a networking guru, and he don't even
yeah,
realize what networking is.
yeah, and he just kind of connects dots, right? And
Right.
he's so likable and down to earth. And Charlie is like the definition of knowing that you have two ears and one mouth. Like he listens a lot more than he speaks.
Yeah, I've had some people tell me, it's like, wow, y'all did good with him. I said, I don't think I did that good. I think I got lucky. It's been
Sure.
more,
Hey,
you know,
that's part of it.
it's been more like a supervisory role. Just keep them alive. Don't let them do something stupid, you know.
Keeping
And,
him
and keep,
fed.
yeah, keep them fed and keep them from driving off a cliff.
That's right. That's right.
Um,
Well,
so
hey, look, whatever he's doing, keep on doing it. You know what I mean? Go Charlie. It sounds like he's got a lot in his favor right now, and praise God for it, right?
yeah, definitely. He wants to start a podcast.
Really? What's he
Uh,
want to do a podcast
he
about?
wants to do a racing related podcast. And I told him, I said, man, I said, you can do this stuff remotely now. I said,
Hmm.
you get one of your buddies from, because he's already friends with a few of the guys from Speed U.
Sure.
One of them is, he's primarily an asphalt racer, but he does race some dirt.
Hmm.
Charlie's a dirt racer. Y'all could come together, one time a week, record a podcast, and talk about the struggles of you could cover a little bit of what's going on with y'all's racing, and then he can
Hmm.
cover the asphalt late models, and you can cover dirt late model stuff.
For sure. For
And
sure. It makes sense.
plus it gets your name out there. Uh, it gets you where you're talking in front of people where you don't say mm.
Right.
So it
And
works on the you know
it's that much more time talking about racing too.
yeah, and then
And
with being that they're both Speed U students and Speed U's starting to get a pretty good following.
Mhm.
It could get shared on their Facebook every week when it comes out, and help promote the school. Like I've told him, I said you need to get with Chip and make this part of the the school. Like
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
like not necessarily your learning. I don't know how I'm trying to say it.
It's in association with Speed U,
Yeah,
though.
it's
Hey,
in the
look at two of our students putting on this podcast. It's in
yeah, and then
association with.
you've got the other students. There's a lineup of guests for the first few months,
Absolutely.
and that gets
Absolutely.
their name out there, and that gets them talking in front of people, and yeah, I mean, it builds everybody's brand.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially in a game where sponsorships are such a big deal, right? Like
Yeah,
in racing, you have to have sponsors. Unless you're just rich. You got to have
even,
sponsors.
even if you are rich, you need sponsors.
That's true. That's true. I mean, look at NASCAR, right? Like
I think I think uh, Junior Johnson said it best. Do you know how you start? How you make a small fortune in racing? You
uh,
start with a big one.
there you go. That's a pretty good
So,
saying.
and he was pretty well off with his moonshine money. So
Dang, man.
there's been a few that have like you look at Rick Hendrick and Richard Childers.
Hmm.
They come in with nothing and have built an empire out of racing.
Sure.
Um, Now, most of the people that come in now need money behind them, like or come in with money, like Pitbull come into racing. He already had made his money,
Sure.
so it's different. It's different now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, we're trying to figure it out, and hopefully we'll connect the right dots, and Charlie will connect the right people, and have a halfway decent amount of talent, and do something with it. So
That would be awesome, man. Congratulations to Charlie, dude. Speed U is a big deal. Really happy for him. Really excited to see what comes of that.
Yeah, we'll talk about it more as we go on.
How about your newest family member?
The newest family member, I told you his name was Freddie Fish Sticks.
You said Freddie, and then you corrected yourself to Frankie.
Yes, and it's Frankie Fins.
Frankie Fins. I like that. I like that. That's even more gangster.
Even more gangster. He's a gangster little dude over there. He's a beta fish. He's kind of purple and maybe some red on him.
Okay. All right.
A little silver.
I can dig it.
He's over there doing
How is he doing? Fish. He's hanging in there just fine?
Yeah, he's just doing beta fish stuff.
Oh, cool. Just hanging out like a beta fish would.
Yeah.
Oh, good for him. Freddie Fins. Or Frankie Fins.
Frankie Fins. I'm guessing he's getting fed. I mean, he's not dead yet, so.
Not your department, right?
That's not my department. I try to, but he's a cool fish. I wish you could put friends with those fish.
What kind of friends? What kind of friends would you give them?
Different fish friends.
Like not beta fish, like different fish?
Yeah, but they will kill them.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that.
These fish are deadly to other fish. They will fight to the death. Either the beta fish will die or the other fish will die.
So Japanese fighting, they'll fight anything.
Yeah, you can like my friend's mom used to have 2 of them in 2 different bowls, and you could slide the bowls close together, and they'd start flaring up at each other.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whoa. So they don't really care. They just want to fight.
Yeah, they just want to fight. They're like little MMA fighters.
Yeah, like Sean Strickland, like that one crazy dude.
Yeah. I just want to kill something.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. What if
just wants to fight?
Dude, what if you had a beta fish fighting league? Like an underground league, like rooster fighting?
Oh my gosh.
And like you take your fish and you take the other guy's fish, and then you got to put them in a bowl, and they got to fight to the death.
Okay. Like Mike Vick was fighting dogs.
Yes,
who would be the athlete that got caught fighting beta fish?
I think it would be that would be like a Patrick Mahomes kind of thing.
Why? Because he sounds like Kermit the Frog?
No, it would be his brother. His brother would get caught fighting beta fish.
He had an underground TikTok beta fish league sponsored by the Chinese.
Jason Kelce gets tied up in it,
He's like, man, I thought I was going to a horse race.
And you've got people betting millions of dollars on fighting beta fish. And then what is like, so, you got one guy walking in, he's got this little gold fish bowl.
Yes.
That he carries the fish in, because this is the champion.
Yeah.
This is the fish that's never been beat.
It's a champion bowl, right? Like whoever wins, bowl. You get the champion bowl.
You get the gold line bowl. It's got a little belt around it.
They put a belt around the fish.
Yeah, and the fish just sinks to the bottom. It's like, oops, we can't do that.
Oh, shoot. Oh, my bad.
But beta fish fighting, that would be, dude, it could be on the Ocho.
What's his name? Jackson? I think his name's Jackson Mahomes.
Yes.
Jackson Mahomes would definitely get caught with a beta fish fighting ring.
Yes, definitely. and like, how many fights do you think a beta fish could last? Like a good beta fish?
Half a dozen.
Half a dozen?
Yeah, I think he's got a good 6 in him.
Yeah. Yeah, and then, they got different tiers of pricing when you go to the pet store and buy them, like different fish.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, what if, like, you got this $19 fish, right?
Uh-huh.
And the $7 fish is meaner.
Right.
And he goes in there and he beats your $19 fish. Does he and then become a $19 fish, or does he become a $40 fish?
Maybe 27. It depends on how much of the other one he eats. You know what I'm saying? It's like, how much money did you get out of that fish? Like, how much money's worth did you eat?
I think they just like butt heads.
Oh, they don't actually eat each other.
No, they don't. Their mouths aren't that big.
I
They
thought they
don't
could
have
like
to
eat the fins or something.
They, they might go after I don't know. How long does a beta fish fight last?
I don't know. I think Flo should set up a channel. I think we should have Flo beta fish fighting.
Flow beta fish fighting. Yeah, and then you got the Winter Nationals. It's the Winter Nationals of beta fish fighting. We're here in sunny Austin, Texas.
Can you imagine some of the war paint? Like one of the guys does like Braveheart war paint on one of them or something. You can't really tell because it's a freaking fish.
It's on there, man. You just got to trust. You see a close up.
Dude, that reminds me. Do you have your phone available right now?
Yeah, it's right here.
All right, please look up a close-up picture of an ant's face.
Okay.
Super close-up picture of an ant's face. I received this information over the weekend, and I got to be honest with you. I was baffled. I didn't know that our creator could do such a thing.
Dude, they look vicious. Are you gonna put this on the screen right there?
Yeah, I'll pop it up on the screen for our YouTube listeners to check it out, or our YouTube viewers, I should say. But yeah, man, it's one of the most terrifying things. It looks every bit like a demon.
No wonder they hurt when they bite.
Right. It's one of the most terrifying things you'll ever see. So if you're just listening to us, you have got to pause the recording. You've got to pause the podcast right now. You've got to look it up. It's really scary.
Dude, that'd be a good Halloween mask.
Oh, man. Why doesn't Ant-Man look like that?
Ant-Man didn't look... That's what I was going to say. He didn't look that scary.
No, not at all. Not
Dude,
at all.
Nightmares.
All right, so Flo beta fish fighting.
Beta fish fighting.
Well, look, man, I threw this up on the notes. Let's transition here. Let's hit the next thing on the notes. I threw this up on the notes because there was a few happenings at the Grammys last night.
Yes, there was.
First and foremost, before the main ceremony even kicked off, our guy, local Atlanta native, Killer Mike, was arrested and escorted out of the arena.
Was he arrested or was he detained?
Okay, so he was handcuffed. Let's put it that way. Detained.
Yeah.
Detained. I can't make any sort of assumptions. As far as I know, I tried to look it up, but there's really nothing. Nobody really knows anything as of right now, I think.
Okay, so TMZ had an article.
Okay.
They said he was detained for questioning because of an altercation with a security guard.
There at the Grammys?
At the Grammys.
Oh, golly. Come on, man.
But the whole thing, the funny thing is on like social media, under some of these posts, it's like, who's Killer Mike?
What?
Yeah, people don't know who Killer Mike is.
Well, I get that. Like, you kind of got to be in the community, I guess. You got to kind of listen to that sort of music. He's gotten his name out there in a lot of other areas too. It's just, I feel like most people from Atlanta would know who Killer Mike is.
Yeah, Rock the Jewels.
Dude, right. Run the Jewels.
Run the Jewels.
Yeah. Run the Jewels. It's amazing. Dude, Run the Jewels get you hyped up, man.
Yeah. Dude, his newest album was amazing.
It was awesome.
Several. And you have to listen to it. It's not just like grab one song off of it. Mm-mm. You turn it on, you don't put it on shuffle, and you enjoy the journey.
Yeah, it's so vulgar. It's so vulgar,
it is.
Like straight out of the gate, horrendously vulgar. But if you listen to it through, I really enjoyed the album, man. It was a masterpiece. And that's what swept, was that album, Michael. He won 3 Grammys. Huge hats off to him. It was a sweep, and that's a big deal for him.
Yes, it was. Did you see Jelly Roll got to meet Taylor Swift?
I did not see that.
Yeah. And then, but I think the performance that had everybody going was Luke Combs and Tracy Chapman. Am I saying that right? That's her name, right? doing Fast Car as a duet together.
Wow. Yeah, because Luke Combs kind of brought that song back. He covered it recently and really brought it back to be to popularity. I've always preferred the Tracy Chapman version, but that's just me.
It's the first time she's performed publicly in years.
I don't doubt that. Yeah.
So that was, if you get a chance, go look that up. It's a really good version of it. Because
absolutely, man.
Because it's a conversation song anyway.
Yeah,
it's asking the question, you got a fast car?
Yeah.
So
to be able to go back and forth is pretty cool, right?
Yeah. So
that's awesome, man.
Dang, my tablet just went into 10%. So yeah, so we gotta get her done.
Let's take an ad break real quick and see if you can't plug that joker in. And we're back from that little ad break. Chucker, there was one more thing at the Grammys. Taylor Swift has made history.
Okay.
She has won Album of the Year for the 4th time.
Wow.
No other solo artist, I guess, no other artist, I think, has ever done that.
You mean Garth Brooks hadn't ever done that?
As far as I believe I was reading it correctly, she's the only artist to do that. Album of the Year 4 times.
John Bon Jovi had never done that?
Guess not, ma'am. Wow. She's reaching new heights.
That's pretty cool. She is. I'm telling you, she's the Elvis of this generation.
Well, I mean, America sure does love her.
Michael Jackson didn't do that? You telling me she's bigger than MJ now? This is an
Album of the Year 4 times.
The audio show too. You have to answer. You can't just shrug your shoulders.
I know. You're right. I'm sitting here watching us, and I got to remember that. But yeah, I mean, I guess so. I guess that's what it's saying here. Let me pull up the article again. I've got it right here. Actually, I've got it right here. Taylor Swift makes history with 4th Album of the Year win. Taylor Swift set another record on Sunday, winning the Grammy Award for Album of the Year for an unprecedented 4th time as women dominated the music industry's top honors. Whoa. So I guess the women came out on top last night. But
it's like that sometimes.
T Swift, apparently she's dominating. She won Album of the Year for Midnights was the album.
Okay.
And she announced a new album, and that set the internet on fire, I guess.
Oh, a new T Swifty album.
Yeah. During her acceptance speech, she announced a brand new album coming out. So,
well, that's the best place to do it. It's free.
Yeah. Well, it draws eyes to the Grammys, right? No one's watching the freaking Grammys.
I wonder if the new one will have Travis's breakup song on it.
Well, apparently she says she's been keeping this news from her fans for a couple of years now. So this is like stuff she's had in the bank.
Okay, so this is some other dude. So he's got to sit there. He has to sit there and listen to all the other dudes' breakup songs.
Well, think about this. What if they're happy, like I'm in love with you songs, and then he's got to hear all the speculation about how these songs are about him, but she actually wrote them when she was with someone else. Because they just happen to be released during the time that they're together.
Well, then she would just pull the classic trick of any songwriters, like, "Hey, babe, I wrote the song for you."
Yeah. And she better start covering her tracks now. She can't say that she's had these for a couple of years. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she even though that songwriter's played it for the last 4 girlfriends.
That's hilarious, man. But yeah, so that wraps up the Grammy news. We had to get T Swift back in there. We can't go. It seems like we can't go an episode without talking about her.
We can't. I'll tell you what we can talk about that we haven't talked about it yet. That would be the monkey farm that they are trying to start in Bainbridge.
That sounds terrifying. This has made huge headlines in Georgia, all across the state, it seems like, because that city's in an uproar.
30,000 monkeys.
30,000 monkeys at and this is going to be a monkey factory farm type situation, basically, right? They're going to be breeding them there.
Basically, the only good thing they got going on is the tourist factory is down there. So if they do have the monkeys escape, they can at least provide weapons to terminate the monkeys.
Well, what if the monkeys start using those?
Oh, we train the monkeys to use the Tauruses.
I'm just saying, is it a coincidence that the Taurus factory and the monkey factory are in the same town?
There are no coincidences, John.
What I find very terrifying about the situation, Chucker, is that they're talking, like you said, 30,000 monkeys at this place. There's only 15,000 residents in that city.
That's 2 monkeys for every girl, every guy.
That's terrifying. Do you think every human being could take 2 spider monkeys?
Dude, I couldn't take 1 spider monkey. I'm terrified of monkeys anyway. So, I don't know if I'll be visiting Lake Seminole again.
Your fishing days on Lake Seminole are done?
Yeah, I might not be going back down to Bainbridge.
Look, it's really far south. It's basically on the border of Florida, right? It's really close.
Right. It's the southwestern corner of Georgia. So, one thing people are worried about, you remember how the pythons got introduced into the Everglades?
Absolutely.
Because of the
One of the reasons is a storm came through and demolished a research center.
Yes. So they're worried. That's one of their big worries.
Yeah.
They are kind of far off the coast. They're at least an hour and a half, 2 hours. So it would have to be. I would worry more about the storm itself making it that far than I would the monkeys getting out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, they have had some pretty good damage down there from storms, but it's usually tornadoes and stuff. So, but the way the thing that's got a lot of people mad is the way the city council did it. They kind of had one of those closed door secret meetings and approved it.
Yeah.
Now, I did see that the county took away the bonds that they were giving to like build the building and prepare the land.
Uh-huh.
So that's a development that we're having to watch. I don't know if that will affect it or not, because these corporations, they like free stuff.
Right. I mean, I gotta think that at least 1 or 2 people on the city council are getting their pockets greased, right? Like,
oh yeah, all of them.
Yeah,
all of them.
probably all of them, right? To get yeses across the board, like, let me just start cutting checks.
Have you ever seen a politician that wasn't crooked?
No, haven't met one yet.
No, there's no such thing. The only good, there is no good politician. They're all.
I know what you were about to say there, Chucker.
There's another podcast, and they have a T-shirt that says, "Was it alpaca? All politicians are." Yeah, you can go look that up on your own. So, yeah, we got that going on. Where are you at?
That's terrifying. That is literally the setup of Planet of the Apes.
Yes. I'm saying no monkeys for Georgia.
Yeah, I'd vote no.
Yeah. There are a lot of people that are opposed to it. Now, the Facebook page is hilarious. There's an anti-monkey farm Facebook page that I have happened to join, even though I'm not a monkey people. And they've got PETA is supposed to come down and help. Yeah. So these people, these conservatives, are getting in bed with PETA. They don't know how bad that's going to mess them up, because
that's hilarious.
They're going to try to have a barbecue or something and welcome PETA down, and PETA's like, we don't eat meat.
Yeah, they don't know any better either. These people down at Bainbridge, they don't know any different.
No, this guy that they had on Fox News was like, his public speaking was worse than mine.
I mean, he's right there on the border of Florida. You know what I mean? He's got some of that Florida rub. He's got some of that rub,
Down there in that part, man, it's different down there.
It's different.
It's way different. But yeah, I'm opposed to the monkeys. Now, can we open a restaurant in Bainbridge that sells monkey brain soup?
Ooh.
I mean, we'll have monkeys, like the monkeys that we got a source now.
Yeah, the monkey would have to die of natural causes. Like, you know what I mean?
No, you harvest them for food.
You just are harvesting them?
Yeah, I mean, they've got extra monkeys, right?
I don't know. Is the purpose to breed them for research?
Yes, it's research monkeys.
Oh, man. Going back to the CDC right here.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
have the CDC in Atlanta. They're going to be shipping them up there, huh?
I guess. I'm not exactly sure where all the monkey research places are in the United States,
Yeah.
but we have been buying our monkeys from China.
Oh, so we're trying to find monkey independence.
Yes, yes, we're trying to get our monkey independence on. I
Yeah.
mean, Trump got us
We want to be
oil
independent from China on our monkeys. We don't
Yeah,
want to need China for monkeys.
yeah. So Trump got our oil independence, and Biden's getting our monkey, our primate independence, I guess.
We can't do it for like cell phones. We can't do it for minerals,
Nope,
precious metals.
nope.
We can't
Batteries,
do it for any of that.
but we
But
can
by
do it
God,
for
we don't want to
monkeys.
get our spider monkeys from China anymore.
We got to get our spider monkeys from Georgia.
Right here,
Man,
in-house, baby. We
why
want
don't they put
in-house
them?
monkeys now.
They're supposed to bring a lot of jobs.
Mhm.
Um, Evidently, according to Fox News, you'll be able to go to an Arby's, have a cocktail on the way home, and run over a monkey. I don't know. They don't even
I'm
have an Arby's.
sure it's getting blown out of proportion
Yeah,
in the mainstream media.
they don't even have an Arby's. Look, man, I thought that was like one of the first. Like, there's
Oh,
towns that don't have good restaurants. It's got an Arby's.
right. For
You know,
whatever reason.
like you get a Dairy Queen and an Arby's before you
Yeah,
get anything else.
yeah.
But they got a Chick-fil-A.
Oh, they got a Chick-fil-A in Bainbridge.
Yeah, that's what the tourist factory brought them, a Chick-fil-A. But
Wow.
but you know what's weird is they just got a Chick-fil-A, but they already had a Beef O'Brady's.
Oh, that's interesting. I guess because it was probably just, someone trying to franchise and start their own thing. They're
I
like, I want
guess
to be a
so.
restaurant
I
owner.
wish Griffin had a Beef O'Brady's.
Hey,
They've got pretty good wings.
they're not bad. They're not bad. I grew up near a Beef O'Brady's. Not bad.
I've I've seen that one.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ate there, but I don't know. Anyway, that's enough monkey business. Let's move
Oh,
on to something. Too soon. Uh, let's move on to something pretty cool.
yeah. Brand new technology is the next thing on the notes here.
The Apple Vision Pro.
Yes.
I don't know how much they are, but I want one.
Are they available for purchase?
Yes, they were released this weekend. So,
Awesome.
so people's been posting videos of them, and basically, you've got a big screen TV in your glasses now.
Yeah.
So, what's this going to do to TV sales? I mean, I'm sure people still want a big TV, but if you want to just kick back in your chair and watch something on the big screen,
Mm-hmm.
boom, there it is.
That's true, man.
And then if you
Go ahead.
look around, then you got like a Twitter stream over here and apps over here, and it's crazy.
It seems like you're basically Tony Stark, like an Iron Man.
Yes,
How Jarvis was able to pull up all this like
yes,
stuff. It's like you're Tony Stark. You just got to wear these goggles in order to be him.
yes. And I'm going to expand on that because I told you I would. So, the Mandalorian helmet.
Yeah.
All right, and it had all the heads up displays and stuff in it. Same with the Stormtrooper helmets and all that. So,
Oh,
are we entering that where next
yep.
time there is a pandemic and we have to wear a mask because they say it's good for you? Can somebody please make me a Provision helmet with a filtration system in it so I can just walk around like Mando?
That looks like the Mandalorian mask,
It don't necessarily have to look like the Mando. I mean, it would be cool if it did,
right?
but it could look like it needs to be lightweight, but like,
Yeah.
you've got the whole deal in there, and That's why those people evidently in Star Wars are able to wear a mask the whole time.
Mm. Hmm. That's really fascinating. I never even thought about like making it into a helmet. And
Yeah.
even I feel like with a helmet, you could even make it like sensory deprivation at the same time, sensory deprived at the same time, where you can like cut the sound down, you could cut all the lights down except for whatever you want to see, or what, you know what I mean? Like you could do some really cool stuff.
Yeah, you could do really cool stuff. And then, daggone man, when you put it like that, then that's kind of the Matrix.
You're really living in a different realm at that point.
Yeah. I was
You
just
don't
thinking
have to
about
physically interact with your world anymore.
the times they are changing, John.
It's kind of scary, dude. I don't know. I love the commercial. It seems so cool. It seems like that kind of technology could go a long way. It could help a lot of different areas of research. I think it could be amazing. It's just, golly, what are we stepping into? Think of it like this is the first like carved stone for an axe head, and it's like all you know what I mean, like.
Well, think about it like this. Okay,
Or this is
so
the first brick cell phone.
you're working on a car, right? Because these things have a camera, like you see your field of vision. So you're working on a car, and right here over to the side, if you look this way, you've got the service manual pulled up in the wiring diagram.
Absolutely.
So you go, what was that color? Oh, okay.
Dude,
I gotta
Tony
pin
Stark
this out.
in the movie Iron Man, Tony Stark is like working on one of his cars in his garage, and he's like, Jarvis, find out what's wrong or whatever. And Jarvis is like, oh, we have a misfire on cylinder 6 or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, Jarvis can tell. Or there's low compression on cylinder 7 or whatever he says. I can't remember, but still, like, that type of technology is where we are on the cusp.
Yeah. They won't need us after a while.
No, it's really interesting, man.
All right. So that covers that. Now it's time. This week's Conspiracy Corner.
There it is. This one made national headlines. The DOD had to address it here recently. This one's very much in the news.
What is it? Your brain. It's your week.
Yeah, okay. It's my week.
You got to bring it.
I was waiting to see if you had any more sound effects for me. There we go. All right. So the conspiracy theory is that Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are covert political activists, basically spies, kind of. It's a bit of espionage going on, I suppose. Plants, shall we say, where they are a distraction. They are causing a media distraction, and there's been a couple of right-wing pundits. One of them in particular, I know, went on Twitter and was like, "Oh, I'm just waiting for Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift to come out and endorse Biden during the halftime show at the Super Bowl and all this stuff." So essentially, these people, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, are pushing a covert political agenda to distract the country from Joe Biden's condition.
Yeah, the right wingers, and we offend equally here on Last Night's Coffee.
We try
to. This is just our opinion.
Yeah.
We believe that the right, the far right, and the far left are just as bad.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the people that are on the far right that are, and it's not really the far right, it's like the overly Trumpkin Trumpsters.
Sure.
Like, I think Trump would be a better president than the one we got right now.
Probably.
No doubt. But to worship the man's ground that he walks on, it's a totally different thing.
Yeah.
So you've got a lot of these folks that they're like, well, this is just wrong that she shouldn't even talk about politics because she's a performer and she just needs to sing her music. Look, man, if the girl wants to talk about politics, that's her business.
Yeah, you don't have to watch her.
And I don't people have such a hard time separating someone's political views from whatever their art is or whatever their skill is. Can you not just be in a time where you go, okay, that person's really good at what they do.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they have a political opinion. That's their political. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it doesn't have to.
But
sometimes things just happen. They don't necessarily happen to you. And it's like some people take it personally that a celebrity of some sort does not share their political opinion.
Right. We're in such a time that people are arguing now, and you're a bad person if you don't agree politically with them. And it's like, we got to get away from that as a country. We're not going to, we've got to be united as a people, but have different opinions.
Yeah.
Like if everybody had the same political opinion, it'd be very boring.
It would be super boring and nothing would get done.
Yeah. Heck, even me and you disagree on some stuff.
Yeah. Like there would be no discourse. So like it would be no iron sharpening iron. You know what I mean? Like it would be so bad.
But just because someone doesn't agree with what you're saying, don't make them the bad person.
Correct.
I mean, like, there's probably people that think I'm a bad person because I think you ought to be able to have guns. I think you ought to be able to have freedom.
Sure.
I think you ought to be able to go if somebody wants to open a casino, they ought to be able to open a casino.
Sure.
I don't have to go to that casino.
Nope.
But at the same time, I don't think that the government ought to be paying for transgender studies.
Right.
If somebody wants to, if they want to pretend to be what they wasn't born as, that's their problem. It ain't mine.
Right.
Whatever. Just don't make me be part of your fantasy.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And that's, I think where a lot of us have gotten to, a lot of us are seeing that the path we're on is not sustainable. Where we're going as a country and the way we treat each other, it's not sustainable.
No, it's not. But as a conspiracy, I think it's kind of funny.
I think it's very funny. I think it's even more funny that the DOD had to address it.
Yes. They're like, no, they're not working for us. Wink, wink.
Right. Like they're going to come out and say, yeah, they are.
Yeah. Like, we didn't do the Gulf of Tonkin. Wink, wink.
Right.
Stuff like that. I don't know, man. There's a lot of conspiracies out there. That is a funny one that she's a plant. Now, could she influence the election? Probably with her people.
I mean, she gets credit for bouncing the American economy back, dude. So
yeah, she has created her own economy.
Essentially.
Because, it just goes to show people are gonna, you can be told the economy's bad, this is bad. But if you want to spend money on something, you're gonna spend the money on it.
Absolutely. Yeah, Taylor Swift proved that.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't like it. I don't like that everything has to be a conspiracy. And that's why we do the conspiracy corner.
Yep.
Is not necessarily because we believe in these conspiracies. It's to make fun of the conspiracies.
Yeah.
There's a few conspiracies that's been proven. Yes.
Yep.
And some of them, it's usually the conspiracies that get proven are the very small ones.
Right.
But the crazy ones are to distract you from the small ones. That's
right. It's to make the conspiracy theorists look insane.
Yeah. What if, so I think we're doing a good job making fun of some of these conspiracies.
Yeah. I mean, that's part of it, right? I agree with you. It's not just it's not to say we believe in them. It's to laugh at them because there's so many.
Yeah. And we need a good conspiracy that the left believes in. to make fun of.
We can make that happen.
That way we're not just making fun of the right, even though it seems like the right tends to come up with the conspiracies quicker than the left.
Tends to. It's really whoever's in power, it's the other side.
Yeah, have I ever told you about the zombie conspiracy? Okay, so they say that during a Democrat administration, zombie movies do better because they think people's blindly following the zombies or blindly following the government like zombies. And during a Republican administration, the vampire movies do better because they're trying the corporations are trying to suck the life out of you that are run by the Republicans.
That's hilarious. That's such a far out there idea, dude.
But
I love it.
But if you look, who was in charge when all the zombie stuff was very, very popular?
Obama.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Twilight was who?
That was kind of late Obama.
Okay.
But I think that's when the Republicans had the House.
Ah, I see.
So, yeah, it's weird, man. Like, there's so many
strange,
weird theories. I don't even know if you should call them all conspiracies. They're just theories.
Yeah, a lot.
It's like, dude,
no one's
sitting
even
around
conspiring to do anything.
And even Vic Ramaswamy got in on the Taylor Swift stuff.
He did, man. He did. I'm telling you, it made news.
Yeah, so I don't know.
You got a meme for me this week, man? Let's move on.
You need a meme right quick before our batteries go dead.
Oh yeah, come on with it.
Let's see here. I've got the meme to end all memes. I've got it right
I like
here.
the sound of that.
We might have referred to this movie earlier in the show, if you were paying attention.
Number one rivalry of all time. The Average Joes versus Globo Jim. Oh, man. I love that movie. Dodgeball is one of the best movies.
Dodgeball is a good movie. It's heartwarming.
It's great.
There's a lesson
Got a
in it.
great cast.
Great cast.
Yeah.
So do you think that's one of the greatest rivalries of all time?
Yeah, sports rivalries. Yeah, I'd say that's one of the best sports rivalries of all time.
Okay.
Yeah, I like it. What about you? What do you think?
I think they're up there.
Yeah.
The Cole Trickle versus Rowdy Burns rivalry was a good one. So they're top two. It's top two.
Top two. I can dig it, man. That's a great meme. I like thinking about that movie. Thank you, Chucker.
I like that you can put the meme up there on the screen now.
Yeah, man. We're moving up in the world, dude. We're moving up in the world. We're trying to. Everybody needs to check us out on YouTube.
Yeah, check us out on YouTube. We got some shout outs.
Yeah, we do. My daughter Leah is turning 6 this week on Friday.
Nice.
So she does not listen to the podcast, but I want to shout her out anyway. Love you, girl.
That means Dad's been retired 6 years.
Yep. That's what it means.
Well, all right. Shout out that. We've got the Eating Chambers. We're getting closer to setting the date for the Uno competition.
Yep. We're getting much closer.
Talking about that. I was looking at someone else's schedule, and their February is pretty much full.
I don't doubt it.
And our February is filling up.
Right.
And then we got to do that. We've got to do the Dollar or Not with the Eating Chambers.
Yep.
And
that's all coming up, man. It's all coming up. We've got it in the works.
We might have to do I wonder if we could do the Uno like virtual, like everybody download the game.
No, we can't do that. We got to do it. We got to do in person, man. We got to do it in person.
All right.
It'll be good, man. It'll be good. And also, shout out to Charlie once again. Huge congratulations to him. That's a big deal, man. Congratulations on the Speed U.
Yep. Cool. Well, we'll see y'all next week.
Thanks a lot, Nightshifters. We'll talk to you later.